What's going on, guys? Brett Keeler here, and today we're going to look at a common objection that most agents get when they're reaching out to new leads. We're going to look at why people say this and how you can push through it and continue the conversation. The objection we're going to look at today is, I'm not interested. So let's dig in. All right, guys, so first of all, it's important to understand why people say things like, I'm not interested. So when you first get a lead in, you get their phone number and you reach out and you say something like, hey Joe, this is Brett Keeler from ABC Real Estate. I noticed you registered on my site and you were looking at 123 Main Street. I was curious, what did you think about it? And they're gonna say things like, they say a bunch of different things, but for this video, we're gonna look at them saying, oh, it was nice, but I'm not interested. So when someone says they're not interested, typically speaking, it's a subconscious response. It's their brain telling them that this person is, I don't know this person, I don't trust this person, and this person is trying to sell me something. So their brain is doing what it's done in the past and throws an immediate objection out there regardless of what their true feelings are. So they're gonna say, I'm not interested, right? The important thing is you handle it confidently, handle that objection, acknowledge it, and move forward to new questions, because once you start asking new questions, then you start opening them up, they start talking to you, they start providing you information, and at that point, once you figure out their pain points and what they're looking for, then you can start to help them out and start building rapport and move the relationship down the road. So that's the main objective here. So again, the objection is I'm not interested in what you're gonna say to it. So again, hey Joe, this is Brett Keeler from ABC Real Estate. I noticed you registered on my website and you were looking at 123 Main Street. What did you think about it? And they say, oh, it was nice, but I'm not interested. And here's where most agents go wrong. They give a reaction of, they didn't expect that, even though it's very, very common. And when you don't expect something and you don't have an immediate, confident response for it, you're gonna kind of shut down and give up. Because when you get that sort of resistance, it's hard to push through it if you don't have something ready. So typically agents say something like, oh, okay, no problem. This is my phone number. If you change your mind, you feel free to reach out. Or if you have any further questions, reach out, whatever it may be. You guys hang up the phone, you go in your CRM system, you mark it down as this person's not interested. You end up never reaching out to them again. They completely forget about you, and that's a dead lead for you. And it doesn't have to be. So let's look at what you can say to get through that objection and push through to continuing the conversation. So they say, oh, it was nice, but I'm not interested. So first you want to acknowledge, hey Joe, no problem. I completely understand you're not interested. So what this does is puts them at ease. You're not being combative. You're not questioning why they're not interested right now. You're just saying, oh, I completely get it. No problem. So, hey Joe, no problem. I get it. You're not interested at this point. And then you move on. And this is important, and this is a very simple strategy, but most people do not do it. Hey Joe, I get it. You're not interested right now. No problem. But before I go, do you mind if I ask you a quick question? So again, we're removing more resistance. We're saying we're about to leave. But before I leave, do you mind if I ask you something? And most people, 9 out of 10 times, are like, yeah, sure, no problem. And boom, you just broke through that initial resistance. And I can't tell you how valuable that is to break through that. Just because you broke through that one, though, doesn't mean there aren't going to be more. But the point is you broke through that one and you're continuing the conversation. Now you can ask them another question. So if you have a script in place, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter the type of question. The point is that you're getting through that objection. So get through that objection, ask another question. If they have another objection, get through that until they somewhat trust you and are opening up. Ask open-ended questions. Don't ask them easily yes or no questions. Ask them things where they have to say a few words, because once people start talking, they continue talking. And they provide you a lot of information to provide you, their pain points, why or why not, they're looking at a certain area or whatever it may be. And that's where you can provide your value and provide assistance there. So practice that. You don't have to use exactly what I said, but you can create your own type of thing you say that's based off of your words and what you're comfortable with saying. But the point is, acknowledge what they're saying and move it forward. I would highly recommend creating a script, writing this down, practicing it every day. Also doing some practicing with a friend or family or another agent, some role playing, wife, husband, whatever it may be. And when you say that objection handler, see how they react, right? And the more and more you do it, the more confident you'll get in what you're saying, and it'll just become natural. So every time you get on a phone call, you're not super anxious about this person saying, "Oh, I'm not interested." You're expecting that, right? Because that's very common, and you have a solution for it and you move it forward. And then that's when cold calling or calling FSBOs or expireds or your leads or even door knocking become pretty straightforward and something that you have no problem doing. So practice, 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 do some role playing, implement it. And once you implement it, you'll start to see results, and then you'll kind of see how important it is to practice those. So I hope this was very helpful. I hope you practice it and start using it, and I hope it gets you some conversions and some better conversations going. If you have any other objections that you want me to make a video on, go ahead and post it below, and I'll do my very best to help you out there. And if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to message me or call or text me at any time. Have a fantastic day and best of luck. Bye-bye.